Hey, everyone, Cody the Code Man. You know what? This is the time of year for Christmas. Hey, Merry Christmas to all of you. And to celebrate Christmas, we're going to talk about a certain Kamen Rider series that is basically starts with Christmas, double. So yeah, we're doing the double anime because it's great. And also in time for the double begins night uh anime version coming out this week in Japan, the better time to talk about double at Christmas. Let's begin. Hey everyone, Kodo the Tillman. Time for another edition of Hobby Toku Anime. And yes, today we're talking about Toku, and that is a series it's not Power Rangers, and that is Kamen Rider, the best Toku series of them all. I like it so much. God, I'm so excited talking about Double. Double is the first season that I watched the end of. Like, I didn't really watch the end. I mostly watched Double. I was at the beginning, around the beginning. And Double was like the first series I saw clips that in Akiva. Also, a big Decade reference. Do you know that? Sound familiar? Okay, I will explain and think for a moment. But anyhow, let's begin to talk about the double anime. But first, I have to explain some details. I'm gonna explain just when we get to them, like things that happen in the double series that I love. So let's begin off with episode 1. And yes, for the double anime, our 12 episodes are really 4 3-part arcs. So our first arc, which I call the road arc, which I will explain meaning in a moment, and now begins. The story begins with Shotaro returning to Fuuto from a long time. Basically encounters a friend. Some Dopants are returning for some reason. And just to know, Dopants are main villains of Kamen Rider Double. Yep, being a portmanteau of the words doping and mutant. Yes, that's the theme. A kid's show has a doping joke. Okay, sorry, that was the reference, but point is, a dopant is basically the villains of the series, but I will explain them when we get to Comes the Girl. It turns out Chodoro meets Philip, discovered the random of villainous Philip. Philip uses the Gaia library in episode 2, basically being the show's version of the Matrix Hall weapon room ability, mostly used for knowledge and exposition, which I like so much. Oh god. Some random woman who is basically our new character. Also, there's Skull's daughter, Yuriko, which is our main female / woman comedy relief, hitting her people with her slippers. Really good joke. But then there's a cat plot, but anyhow, that's the point. In episode 2, we to meet the girl, discover connection, part 1, then Philip unites that, and basically part 2 ends with saving the girl while becoming a hero. We all know. Cyclone. Joker. Psycho. Joker. Sorry, that was a Kamen Rider Double reference. So if you've seen Double, now we get our writer. Well, to explain Kamen Rider Double abilities, I will explain them in this brief essay quick. But anyhow, Double is basically Cyclone Joker being the base form, while there's also Heat Metal and Heat Luna Trigger. However, each of those forms can combine with another part of those halves. So Shotaro has Joker, Metal, and Trigger, while Philip has Heat, Cyclone, and Luna. Basically, you can mix and match any way you want out of those 3 to perform 9 combinations, and there's another. Basically, they battle, double, defeat the villain, basically, road, and arc ends with her joining the cast. Then next episode, and foreshadowing about our secondary rider, which I will explain later. But episode 4 begins the millipede arc, I like to call, where the megalopede arc, I forget how you pronounce it, but the point is, random girl esports thing. Yes, this is a 2010 show. You need freaking esport joke, but to update it. But anyhow, point is that happens. Kind of random guy turned out to be the villain. They battle a guy. They do that. Discover it's not the real person that's the true Dopon. Then along the way, Axel shows up. Yes, I forget how you pronounce his name all of a sudden. But anyhow, the point is Kamen Rider Axel, which we won't see for a bit officially, but we see here the actor. So basically that. And Takamine, yeah. Takamine is basically based off Kamen Rider V3. Loosely, I will explain when we get into a double video someday. But anyhow, the point is, he's like V3 in the sense that he's our third main character in the series. Sort of like with Ichigo and Nigo being both based on Shoto and Philip, kinda. I don't want to explain that. That's another story. But anyhow, the point is, do that, battle Megapede, then Shoto gets injured. So you think that's it for double, but you don't know one other thing. Fang. Yes, they're first of 2 power-ups in the show. Fang. Fang is basically the twist with Fang. Instead of Shotaro being the main character forming double, it's Philip. And it can only do one combination. Fang! Roar! Do! Joker! Do! Fang! Joker! Raw! Do! Well, Fang Joker is kind of like a berserk form that's mostly Philip. Also, I heard this anime has a trigger version, which might be in the movie or prequel film or the season 2 if it ever happens, which I will get into because I feel like they might do a second season eventually, but only time will tell for that. Anyhow, the point is they do battle Megapede, and at the time throwing the other general, he gets defeated by Axel. Takamine Axel later. Out for episode 7 through 9. This episode's basically Shoto and Philip get trapped in a house that's like in a snow incident. So everyone goes snow. They encountered random people. They encountered Dopon known as alcohol. Yes, that's what the Dopon's based off. Alcohol. And it kind of looks like the Kamen Rider Luna Dopon from the Double movie. It just feels like if this was a Toku, that would be a rehash of that Toku design. Maybe the body be different, but anyhow, that's kind of clever. Anyhow, point is, first time they battled, they used heat Joker to increase the alcohol, making it an easy win. Next, turns out it's one of the women from the masquerade party. They do that. They investigate who it is. Discover no one knows about the details officially of the women. And then Takamine, Kimiko, and our new Yuriko, which Yuriko is our main female, who's basically our new female if you haven't seen the show. But point is, she finally sees Kamen Rider Axel with her, and yes, she has a broken Gaia memory with her, a Dopon memory, but let me not explain that now. It's going to become important in part 4, but anyhow, point, double turn, they use the heat Axel drives into his bike form. Yes, Axel's main gimmick is instead of being 2 halves, he can turn himself into a freaking car. So motorcycle, which is kind of funny, but anyhow, point is great. Next up is episode 8, where finally they battle alcohol for the last time. And this time, they're going to use their super form. And that is Extreme, which is basically their ultimate form, which Cyclone Joker Extreme, should I say, which is their final form in the show. Good form, badass form. Like the idea of a silver being in the middle of the form to explain that extreme boost. But anyhow, they do that. They battle, and basically the form episode ends with set up for a museum connection, referencing museum from the later stuff. Yes, I have to explain this. And yet, this is going to be a minor spoiler for Kamen Rider series, if you don't know this detail about Phase 2 Heisei, Museum are basically the main villains of Phase 2. They're kind of trying to be a new Shocker, but I don't want to over-explain. But the point is, Museum are badass villains that are good in Outsiders, I think. I think they replaced in Outsiders, maybe connected in Outsiders. Haven't seen Outsiders? Leave a comment down below if you know. But anyhow, the point is they battle. Episode 4 is basically trying to do the guy trying to fix the her broken Dopon memory and turn it into a Joker, which I don't want to blame, but I won't spoil that detail. But anyhow, the point is they counter our main villain being, for part 4, being Reactor. Reactor is actually a very powerful foe. Like, he's strong, great, and not badass in this arc. But anyhow, the point is they battle. Episode 3 get demented to save her, then she escapes as a trap, as she never left, then she goes into the portal with some detective helper guy. Kind of great. Then double acts, all of them get saved and back. It's kind of a good episode because at the end, discover reactors using a boosting chamber inside their base, which is like a phantom city that they see in part 1. But anyhow, point is, a bunch of Road Dopons show up. Yes, the Road is secretly a army team, but anyhow, point that they do that. Also, part 3 had Trial, which is Axel's super form, which is kind of great. Drum, brum, brum. But anyhow, Trial's great speed form. It's not fastest form, but it's the 5th fastest form. If you don't count it can be tied with Excel for 5th fastest form in the series. But anyhow, point is, it's great. Anyhow, Reactor, they battle Reactor. Second time they battle him is basically they go to Cyclone Joker Extreme. They battle. They use Trigger, Luna, Heat, Cyclone. The villains like grabs Yuriko and Yuriko, which is our new female. I said it for this year. Gets captured. They have no choice but to get rid. Then they secretly revealed they had Prism attached. Still had Prism secretly. So they used the Kamen Rider Extreme's finisher, basic kick attack. Yes, every Rider series has a kick. And basically uses Prism combined to form a new attack just for this fight. And this is great. A rapid fire kick fight, defeat the foe. And the foe, Dopon, when the memory is destroyed, he gets very burnt deaf and badass. And ends with an epilogue, which I can't say because it's sort of a spoiler, but I will tell you someday, maybe if it happens. Hope you like the video. Leave a comment below if you like Kamen Rider Double and like this anime adaptation. Just come and saying bye-bye for now. And Merry Christmas to all. Happy Christmas. Now officially bye-bye for now.